Good evening, Canada. We are bringing a brand new episode of our weekly talk show, Voice of Canada. Your host, Asphandiar Wadiwalla, my charming co host, Cindy Young, and we have a very dynamic guest speaker this afternoon. He's John Weibang Zhu. Welcome to our studio in our show, Voice of Canada, produced by Awaz TV Entertainment, Mississauga.
Good evening, Canada. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, the host, Epi and Cindy. My name is Weibang Zhu. You can call me John. It's my pleasure to be here for the interview.
John, a very special welcome to you to Voice of Canada this evening. If your bio is very interesting, if you can inform us and our viewers about your personal and professional life and what kind of role you play here at your work, at your place of work.
That's a wonderful question. At the present, I am the president of the 4 companies, but 3 companies are majorly in Scarborough. One is Longpoint International Investment Group. Another one is Kengo Consulting Group. The other one is called Weibang Real Estate Group.
Very good. Okay, John, I would again repeat, your bio was truly impressive when I read, when I studied, when I wrote the script, and I was highly impressed. So congratulations for that. As you're a trilingual person, you speak Mandarin, English, and Cantonese. So how do you feel? So it is so useful for you to mix with all the Chinese communities with different accents.
That's a wonderful question. So Ni Hao is Mandarin, Ni Hao is Cantonese. How are you? Is English. So 3 languages.
Ni Hao is a very common thing we also hear during the Chinese celebrations.
I do hear that.
And on the stage, we say Ni Hao, you know.
Ni Hao.
So that's a very common greeting. Okay, John, also tell us, were you Canadian born or you were born in China? Or
I immigrated from south of China, Guangzhou, a city near south of China. It's called Taishan in May 2000. And then after 6 years living here, I got my IT accounting postgraduate certificate and 3 years business study permit, and then 3 years business administration diploma in 6 years.
Lovely.
A lot of certification in a short time.
You have done a really good job, and you are a man on the spot.
Thank you so much.
Very nice. John, also from your bio, we read that you are the president of Long Bond International Investment Group. If you could tell us and our viewers your role as IT president, and what does your firm do, and what are its objectives?
Yeah, Longpoint International Investment Group is a global business investment companies, but mainly we do land banking, and the next one we're doing the real estate, and we also do a lot of consultations like business consultations. But the main business, like during the COVID-19, we do PPE trading.
Of course.
John, as you are also a great volunteer, doing so much of community services. So what roles you play in community services especially?
That's a very wonderful question. Talking about volunteers. I right now I am the 3 presidents of 3 non-profit organizations. The biggest one is called Chinese Canadian Consultative Association. This is the biggest and the longest association that has been established from 1983. From now on, it's been 40 years already. So this organization has been giving me a lot of chance to volunteer to serve the communities. So we basically serve the Chinese community, and the location is basically on GTA.
Oh,
that is truly, truly great. John, for the information of our viewers of Voice of Canada, can you say what must be the population of Chinese here in Canada? Approximate.
Mostly, it's almost like 300,000 Canadian, like the Chinese.
How much?
300,000.
300,000. I thought there were much more, but 300,000 is not it's a big visible community.
Yes.
Yeah, very large community. Very nice. Also, John, from your bio, we also read that you are the president of Congo Consulting Group. What kind of role do you play in this firm? What kind of role did you play in this firm?
That's a wonderful question.
From 2006
Yes, this company has
Yeah.
been established in 2006. Kenko Consulting Group is a consultation company. As you know, I am a CGA, and then I do finish the IT accounting postgraduate certificate in Canada in Humber College. So Kenko Consulting is basically providing consultations in taxation, personal income tax, and then corporation income tax consultations. But we also provide immigration consultants because we hire the licensed lawyers to do the immigration consulting too.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it's very busy during taxation time.
Yes, right now that's finished the taxation time.
Yeah.
John, I see and read from your bio, and just now I'm seeing physically also that you are a celebrated Canadian citizen like me, getting so many awards. And even we have got another gentleman sitting in this, and the studio only is Eric Wynn. He also is a long time conservative who won so many medals.
Yeah.
So because we have worked hard for Canada, we have believed in Canada. So would you like to throw some light on your awards?
Yeah.
All the awards you got up till now to date.
Yeah, thank you so much for the blessing of the Canadian and for the blessing.
And for your hard work.
Yeah, thank you so much for the blessing that I am the recipient of the Platinum Jubilee pin for Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth for this pin.
I have got. I have received.
Yes, and then the first one is the pin and the medal from KSTG. It's called Knight of St. George.
Oh wow!
So
Yeah,
this
Knight
is
of
also
St. George.
the Knight of St. George
Knight of St.
symbol.
George.
And then it is the appointment, and it's also a medal from KSTG. And the last one I got is the 12 years volunteer pin. But the most two important one is the
Her Majesty's.
Yeah, Her Majesty Jubilee. I got it in 2012, and excellent contribution of what get it from the Honorable Tobias Emmerger from 2019. This is another medal.
Because John, let me tell you, and for your information, that the Diamond Jubilee Medal Award we got from the Canadian federal government.
Yep.
And just now in December 22, when Her Majesty Queen had already passed off, she passed on 8th of September 2022. So I got that Platinum Jubilee from Commonwealth International because I served as the director from Canada to Commonwealth.
Congratulations. That's a wonderful achievement.
So that's why I'm proudly wearing the Platinum Jubilee. At the same time, I've got all the 5 for the medals I wear. That was also given by Commonwealth.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
So are majority of those medals that you got for all the volunteer work and the contributions?
Yep.
So that's very nice.
Yep. Thank you.
Sure did a lot.
Go
That's
ahead.
for sure. John, if you can inform us, as you're playing an important role in our Canadian economy, all the education you took here in Canada, and if you could briefly let us know that one by one, and how you implement that in your professional life.
Yeah, that's a wonderful question. Knowledge gives you strength. Knowledge gives you money. Knowledge gives you treasures. But most importantly, it gives you knowledge. The knowledge from the IT accounting postgraduate certificate give me a lot of platforms and pace.
Definitely.
To give me the chance to open the business company, and also give me a chance to establish accounting firm in 2006. So without it, I could not open the business. For the business administration and business study, it also give me a lot of knowledge, a lot of platform to maintain and organize the business. For example, how to build up the clientele, how to closing the sales, how to serve the clients.
Oh.
John, as I see that you lead about 7 community political association members and are heading those associations. So tell us one by one what role you play in this all this organization associations and what they do for Canada and for the communities.
Wow, that's a long question.
It's a long. You can answer long. We have got enough time.
Yep.
You can go turn. That's why I said one by one.
Yes.
You can take all 7.
Yes. So, like what I said, the Chinese Conservative Association is the biggest and longest one that I'm serving right now. So I'm acting as the president from 2018 to present.
Awesome.
So this organization is very amazing. We also to this association, the mission is to protect our Chinese candidates, or to help our Chinese candidates to be served in the public office. We also maintain a very good mission to serve the principles of the Canadian, to encourage them to participate in the political life. For the next one is called Thai-San Friendship Association of Ontario.
Wow.
This one is acting as an assistant and bridge for the new immigrants from my hometown
Very
to
good.
Canada. So that's why we help them to find a job, to help them to study English. This is a very good association. Right now, I'm also the president too. The third one is called Jiangmen Wuyi Association from Ontario. This is a very good association that we have the young entrepreneurs in Canada and to exchange our business and our culture and economic between China and Canada. The third one is called China Canada Entrepreneur Alliance Association.
Wow.
This position gave me a lot of strength and gave me a lot of opportunities to build up the delegation visiting from China. I have a very good relationship with the business from China. This one, they give me a lot of opportunity to...
That's a great economical factor.
To welcome the entrepreneurs from China.
For sure.
Yep. The fifth one is I also the vice president of the Canadian Chinese Multi-Business Association. Right now, this company and non-for-profit company acting as the Chinese business and Canadian business bridge to provide business consultation and trading information. The sixth one, like me and Eric worked before, it's called CBIA. It's called Chinatown Business Improvement Area. I was the director over there, and then I chair a lot of events. As you know, the Chinese festival, Chinatown Food Festival, I was the chair over there. So during these years, I have been serving a lot of associations and then putting lots of time for volunteer services.
Incredible.
That's truly great. Truly great.
Amazing.
We congratulate you, but let me continue my question with a smile and humor. How do you manage so many association organizations being a single man? So you have got a big team of supporters and helpers.
Yes,
to assist you.
You're right. So you can see that with a lot of achievement that we got. Let's say CCCA with the leadership of our boarders. So we need a lot of people join our board of directors. So when we have the missions, so we use the power of a board of directors to spread out. So that's why we only have one director is not enough. So we have the board members to combine with your power, and then we have organized our members to serve the community. That's why the time is very consuming, but we have to use our smart and intelligent way to organize the volunteer service. I know it's time consuming, but we need to organize it. We need to do it. We need to get it done.
Yeah.
We will be taking a short break and we'll be returning soon. Welcome back after a short break in our show, Voice of Canada, which is a very popular weekly talk show. And we have lots of different interesting speakers every week. Your host, Asphandiar Wadiwalla, and our charming co-host, Cindy Young, and our dynamic guest speaker of this week, who is going to really stir a lot of interest by our viewers, is Weibang John Zhu. Am I right?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so before I would like to a little bit clarification because in the first half of our show, it was stated by our guest that there is a 300,000 Chinese population, but those are in Ontario. According to the statistics, all over Canada, we have got, proudly we could say that is 1.6 billion Chinese. So Chinese are a real visible community. I would say cheers and kampai to the Chinese community for contributing in our economy and making Canada strong.
Absolutely.
John, my question continues to you. The new question is, we also saw that during 2015, you were our candidate on record on behalf of Conservative Party of Canada during our Honorable Prime Minister Stephen Harper's time, and you contested the federal elections. So But then after, why didn't you continue? I know the candidates, and Eric knows the candidates who tried to 6 to 7 times, and they succeeded. You know, I would not like to name anybody, but people keep trying and trying and trying, and they won. So why did you left the political arena? And if you would have represented at the House of Commons, it would have been a real privilege for a young blood like you, with so much of experience, and we would have really taken some knowledge and experience from you.
Yeah, that's a very good question. I remember that in 2014, I was decided to run the MP in Spandana, Fort York. But as far as you know, that Spandana, Fort York is not a conservative riding.
No, that's what I wrote. I've written further down. Yeah, that's the NDP riding.
Yes.
And only sometimes when the NDPs, they are fighting among themselves, the Liberals win.
Yep.
That we have seen. But for Conservative, it has been an out of question. Spadina seat, I would say even the Devonport,
Yep.
we can't win those seats.
Yep.
Because I was deputed by the Provincial Conservative Party 4 years to work in Devonport, to help the candidate, to help our Conservatives. But even after 4 years, we could not win any elections.
Yes, I know that. But you know that I was establishing my business in Chinatown for almost 8 years at the time. I put my grassroots over there. I've known so many entrepreneurs over there. I've known so many businesses over there. So that's why I've learned at that time maybe I have a chance. But later on, I figured out this is not the Conservative Party riding. But I still put my feet in because I want to gain some experience on writing and on elections, because that's priceless. That's a very valuable experience for me.
It's a very big honor.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a big honor for me. So that's why under the suggestion of Eric Wen, I participate on the elections. But later on, I have figured out that this writing, I don't have any chance. So that's why I stopped.
No, because Spadina was not a riding, it's just a fill-up.
Yeah.
The Conservative Party will definitely contest that seat also, because we won't leave vacant. We will show we have a candidate for all the seats, and we also have strong seats. Like the whole province of Alberta is blue.
Yep.
And we have got so many ridings here in Ontario also, which are definitely blue.
Yep.
So it's an election. It's a business.
Yep.
So we have to keep it on.
Yeah,
keep it on.
Yes, absolutely.
John, being in the business circle, would you like to throw some light on the climate change and the heavy carbon tax we Canadians are paying under the current Liberal government, which has caused great hardships for the common middle class, hardworking Canadians? If you can throw some light on this for us and for our viewers.
Oh, this is a very big question. So you know,
Yes,
You can
very
go
good
ahead. You
question.
can answer that.
as you know, the climate change right now is a long-term alternation to the temperature and the typical weather patterns in place on it. So the climate change poses very significant environmental, social, and economic challenges globally.
We have to protect our atmosphere and the
for the carbon tax right now. You just know that it's very heavy right now, but the government of Canada has put in a very good called GGPPA. There is a knowledge pricing system known as the Green Gas Pollution Pricing Act, putting on this carbon tax. But since the Liberal government has been putting this policy on it, so the carbon tax, we do think that it's a little bit high right now.
Much higher.
Yeah.
People are feeling a pinch.
Yes,
You know?
that's why with the higher carbon tax, that's why it will increase the gas price or other factors too. So as you know, the current Liberal government is caused a lot of hardship to the middle class
For
people.
all Canadians.
Yeah, all Canadians. So there is a critical way that the government have not put in a very good system for the potential economic impact. And then they also, particularly for the middle class Canadians, it's important to know that the carbon pricing on individuals and businesses can vary depending on the factors such as income level, regional circumstance, and the availability of alternative energy options. So the Liberal government should design a measure to mitigate the potential negative impact on our individuals, such as offering rebates, or offering exemptions or investing in green initiatives.
Yeah.
So I do think that we have to give some signals, give some voice to the liberal government to lower the carbon tax and to lower the other tax to give us some signals to have
some relief should be given.
Yes,
it's high time because Canada is a highly taxed country. We pay taxes from up to our nose.
Yep.
And it is becoming really, really difficult for middle class families to maintain their budget, monthly budget.
For sure.
Yep,
and
for
now
sure.
that it has, after the pandemic, no new issues have emerged, and those are totally uncontrollable, and there is no relief either from the provincial or the federal government.
Yes. So my suggestion to the liberal government should build a policy that can often involve in weighting its environment benefits against potential economic benefits. It also have to, it's a very complex issue, but we request the balance of a consideration of both environmental and economic factors.
John, just now I'm asking you a very hot question, which is the topic of the day. So there was the very strong rumors or news or circulating since last 2 months that the foreign power in Far East Asia is interfering in our Canadian affairs, political affairs. And only 2 days ago, luckily, the former Governor General who was appointed by the Prime Minister, submitted his report and very clearly stated that he could not find any evidence of that foreign country who are poking their nose into our internal affairs. But only last month, you are also aware that the Chinese diplomat was expelled from Canada on a complaint of our MP, who is a sitting MP at the House of Commons, and in return, our Canadian diplomat was expelled from Shanghai. So would you like to throw some light, because this is an international affair? We both are developed nations, and we should not interfere in each other's countries' any policies. We should respect each other.
Yeah, this is a wonderful question. It's also a very good question. Talking about the issue between China and Canada, I do not think that expelling a diplomat can stop in this interference, especially in this very sensitive time. And then you should know that we can see the arguing issues. We see some issues from Meng Wanzhou and the Two Michaels ties.
Two Michaels issue, and already our relations with China are lukewarm.
Yeah,
it's like a cold war going on between China and Canada. So we must improve our relations, our economic relations, our ties, because we import very heavily from China. Even the smallest item comes from China.
Yes. Like as you said just now, we didn't find any evidence that showing the Chinese interfere the Canadians' politics. So without the evidence and proof of interference, how can you judge the China influence Canadians' politics? So I strongly disagree to expel the Chinese diplomat is a smart way or entertainment to solve the problem between China and Canada. We should open a dialogue way or window for both countries to discuss it peacefully, nicely, and smartly and intelligently. On the other way, I do want to address that liberal government should open the dialogue, should build up a multifaceted approach to go beyond the diplomatic inclusions. This can involve strengthening the domestic institutions, enhance the cyber security measures, promoting transparency in political process, to foster international cooperation between China and Canada to counter the common challenges. We all should know that China and Canada are friendly before in a hard time. But right now, our relationship
last 2-3 years.
Yeah, our relationship now is facing the
and it's getting back to worse.
Yeah, we call it ice pond frozen time right now.
True.
So you can see the Chinese entrepreneurs in China and the Chinese entrepreneurs here in Canada, they cannot do business.
Right.
That's infected our business a very long way. So I do urge the liberal government could solve this problem peacefully, nicely, and smartly, intelligently.
So let me add to this answer of John that we must do everything possible for our 1.6 million Chinese who are based in Canada to form a cordial relations with People's Republic of China, because China is one of the superpowers of the world, and we recognize it. But at the same time, such small irritants causes lots of hardships and problems for our Chinese communities over here. And many ugly incidents also happen due to this. So we would like to deter from such things, act passionate, compassionate, because Canadians are compassionate people. And let's start a dialogue with China, and whatever our differences are, we should smoother it.
Absolutely.
We will be taking a short break and we'll be returning soon. Welcome back after a short break. Go ahead.
John, our world saw, as we've all lived through, the most difficult days during COVID-19 with lockdowns, and so many other unpleasant things happened with huge loss of human lives. Businesses closed down, economy came to a standstill. If you could tell us about your experience during the long 2 years of lockdown, and what role did you play as a Canadian during this time?
Wow, this a wonderful question, and this brought me a lot of heartbroken memories.
Yeah,
We lost so many lives during the
first
COVID-19.
precious lives we lost.
Yes, and then a lot of business broken and closed and collapsed.
Yeah,
and then a lot
never
of
to reopen again.
individuals they declare bankruptcy.
Yeah.
So you can see in that difficult time, we all have a heartbroken feeling. But as me, as a businessman and as an individual at that time, I also follow the principles and the policies of COVID-19.
Right.
We wear masks, we follow the social distance. But on the other hand, CCCA and the other associations under my leadership and the airlines leadership, we all do a very good job.
Everybody worked very hard.
We do a very good job. We donate masks to the and then the PPE to a lot of the areas such as Scarborough, Markham, Richmond Hill.
Amazing.
We a lot almost like 1,000 values of the PPE to the communities.
Very
So
good.
that's why
very
we got a lot of awards under Eric and my leadership of the association. So but on the other hand, we do a lot of help to the society too. So there is a saying.
Everybody took positive role during
Yes.
COVID. We helped each other,
Yes.
and it showed us that we should have patience and help out each and every Canadian.
We saw some really nice, beautiful humanity.
Yeah,
during
COVID, and it
during
brought
COVID.
out a lot into the forefront of who we really are, and that's to work as a team and help each other.
Because
be passionate.
it was terrible. The lockdowns
Yeah.
were really, really
It's very
terrible.
difficult.
No Canadian had expected that there would be such long lockdowns,
Yep.
and so much of pain and anger will come
A lot of
after the
suffering.
pandemic is over.
Yes, like us, it's over already.
Thank God it is over.
Yeah.
But the problems are existing, John.
Yeah.
Yep.
Would you throw some light on the current inflation? The inflation is killing Canadians, and that is we don't see still anything that the government is able to beat the inflation, especially on gas and the food prices. Food prices is increasing every time when we visit to buy groceries on fortnightly or weekly basis. The bill is different. It doesn't go down, it goes up. So how can a middle class Canadian can afford? Some people are even ready to sell their houses. They are unable to pay their mortgages because inflation has gone so high, and they are in real soup.
Yeah.
And some have even started working two jobs,
For sure.
which is going to kill them. There is a limit. A human body has a limit to work. But how long? So we have to do something to reduce the inflation by increasing the back interest rates. Is not only going to bring inflation down, but it is going to cause more miseries especially to the middle class Canadians.
That's a wonderful and a big question for the inflation.
So you to give us your ideas. What do you think?
Yeah, for the inflation rising, gas price, and the bank interest rate increasing rapidly these times. So as far as I know, the inflation rate rise is because the after stage of COVID-19, all the economy is going down. So that's why the inflation goes up. For the gas price, the gas price is for the globally is affected by the
It does
globally.
affect everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's affected by global oil price. You know, there is a war happening between Russian and Ukraine. So this also affect the gas price. For the bank interest raise, this is
4.5% is something we had not dreamt.
yeah, this all the factors of inflation and the gas price raise all affected the bank rate increase. That's why there is significant impact for the central bank and central bank system. So for the business, so the high interest rate comes up, makes borrowing money. They borrowing money. The cost is very high. And then there is also a effective change for the supply chain. So the supply
That
chain
is broken.
Yeah,
Many supply chains are broken,
Yeah, it's
and
broken.
due to which there are
Many of them are.
shortages on our shelves are still empty.
Yes.
Many products are
Yeah.
not available in grocery markets and our stores and departmental stores. We must improve and keep the prices intact. The federal and the provincial government should now step in. It's high time. They should not leave the traders and the people at the mercy of people who are trying to gain profits and make more money.
Yep.
Rather help
Absolutely.
our Canadians
Yep.
for that. And in this July, another increase in carbon tax is coming.
Yep.
And another change in the gas prices will be effective.
Yeah.
So it is not going to work out. The gas is a necessity. And once the prices of gas increases, everything follows with the increase.
Yeah, so as a businessman, as the individuals, I do urge the liberal governments should implement economic policies to manage the inflation. And while the business explore alternative supply chain strategies and adopt the changing market dynamics. Individuals like business, like people, like us, have to adjust our budgets, our consuming patterns to cope with the rising. We all have to thinking to consume less, to buy less, and then to adjust your budgets to avoid.
Thank you, John. We will have to be little faster because the red bulb has gone. Production is showing us the signal that our time for the interview is ending, but still we would go ahead with one or two questions. So I would like to ask you, John, that what is your opinion about our current federal leader who has been elected? He is a very strong, powerful man, Pierre Poilievre. After we see light in our party with this man leading the party of Federal Conservative Party. So what do you think? But still, as a person and a long-time conservative, I feel that the leader is still not kept aware. He's totally unaware of many things. He has to reach the grassroots level, people, to know the problems and how the party can come into power. So just throw us light. What do you think? You agree with my suggestion, or I'm wrong with my suggestion?
Yeah, this is a good question. For Poilievre, we have to know that he is a member of Conservative Party of Canadian, has served the MP for since 2004 in Carleton, and he also had various positions within the Conservative Party, including serving as the Minister of State of Democratic Reform and the Minister of Employment and Social Development. I do think that his leadership is amazing, but just like what you said, he have to go to the grassroots people to approach us to tell what his policies, what his strengths and pros and cons, right? So we do think that if we have a next election, he will be the next Prime Minister of Canada.
He's a Prime Minister material, but you can't become a Prime Minister without winning 416 and 905.
Yeah.
That's a simple slogan.
Yeah.
We know the formula in federal elections. Am I right, Eric?
Yeah.
See?
Absolutely.
Go ahead. Yeah, Andy.
So I'm afraid to inform you, it's been such an interesting interview for sure, and thank you so much for everything. But due to the facility of time, we will be soon signing off from this evening's interview with you. Would you like to give some concluding comments or remarks of our show?
To our country, to the Chinese and Canadian citizens? What do you think? What steps we should take to counter so many problems we are facing?
Yeah, this interview is amazing. You are handsome, you are beautiful,
Oh,
and
thank you.
and then Canada is wonderful.
It's
So
a wonderful country,
yeah,
full of resources.
yeah, it's my pleasure to be here today for the interview, and then I feel very happy and honored. I wish everybody a wonderful day and wish all you the best. Thank you so much.
Such a pleasure meeting you.
With that note, we are about to sign off from this week's episode of Voice of Canada, hosted by Asphandiar Wadiwalla and co-hosted by Cindy Young. Our dynamic guest could have spoken for another 2 hours, but due to paucity of time, every program has got a time limit. But we exceeded the time limit today with John Weibang. But we will definitely show the whole interview without deducting or editing any portion of it. And we hope that again, after a few months, with his hard work, we will call him again to our show as Weibang John Part 2.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure. See you next time, Canada.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
God bless Canada. God save the King.
My name is Avantika Subudhi, and it's my pleasure to be singing for you today. I will be presenting 2 songs, and my first song is Until I Found You.
Go ahead.
Georgia, wrap me up in all your I want ya. In my arms, oh let me hold ya.
Beautiful.
I'll never let you go again like I did. Oh, I used to say I would never fall in love again until I found her. I said I would never fall unless it's you I fall into. I was lost within the darkness, but then I found her. I found you.
Thank you. Go ahead with your second number.
Thank you. My second song is 1,000 Years by Christina Perry. Heart beats fast, colors and promises. How to be brave? How can I love when I'm afraid to fall? But watching you stand alone, all of my doubt suddenly goes away somehow. One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I'll love you for 1,000 more. Time stands still, beauty in all she is. I will be brave. I will not let anything take away what's standing in front of me. Every breath, every hour has come to this. One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I'll love you for 1,000 more. And all along I believed I would find you. Time has brought your heart to me. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I'll love you for 1,000 more.
Keep up the good work, and that shows in our Voice of Canada. We believe in multiculturalism, and we treat everybody, every Canadian equally. And we hope that to continue this process. of multiculturalism because Canada has got 192 nationalities based here in Canada. So we are proving to Canada that we are Canadians. We are proud Canadians, and we will definitely promote each and every Canadian, especially our young children and the women. That is our main objective of Voice of Canada. With that note, we say goodbye, good night, God bless, audios, and God bless Canada. God save the King.